So here we are at Beth's hive. Beth's here today. Just opened the lid. It's wax moth sign out in front, so we're assuming the worst, but wax moths are always around, and if there aren't enough bees, they just take over. There's no queen here, so I'll put them on the ground. I wanted to see how they were doing with the hatch. They still have, I think I showed you in the last video, lots of honey there, a little honey there, lots of honey right there, but nothing in these three and nothing in this one. So they've got 4 frames that aren't being used. A couple little sugar ants are visible, so we might put some oil in the pan there down below. Watch out, little bee, get out of there. Cool tool here, it's used to wedge these frames up. Nothing here, of course. These two are stuck together and I don't like to separate them. But this one I pulled out last time. There are more bees than there were last time, so they did have the hatch. But whether there are enough to keep the wax moth out is another question. Let's see what kind of pattern we have this time. Same kind of feeble pattern. I'll keep it over the lid here in case the queen is here. If these were bulgy little cells, that you'd know that the queen had failed completely, and the bulgy cells would be male bees being born. They're not bulgy, they're still, so she still has some fertilized eggs.
Why is it so dark?
The comb's dark from being old. This came with the original bees you purchased. I don't see any larvae other than the capped cells. I see lots of pollen. Down below there's lots of waste from wax moth. Always put the frame back in the way it came out. They're making a nice sound in there, like they're a little bit worried, which is good. They should be worried. Not because I'm a bad person, but whenever the frames are taken out, they should wonder what's going on. You want them to be defensive. So these capped cells don't look so healthy. It's like as though maybe they're not even going to come out of those capped cells. They don't look fresh.
Is it those brown ones?
The brown capped cells, they don't look very fresh. They might have been capped a long time ago and nothing ever came out of them. Because I don't see any young larvae nearby those capped cells. I believe we've lost the queen, Beth. Apparently they didn't make a new one and she's failed. Because there's no, got a good sunlight here and I don't see any larvae down in any cell nearby those.
Now what?
I believe I'm looking at the queen. I'm waiting for them to get out of her way. There's a little, I'll show it to you, just I'll put the bees down nicely. This little circle here is all around a large-bodied bee. And I think she's under the... It doesn't mean a thing, though, if she's here. That's even worse because she has failed, but she still is giving off her pheromones that tell the others that they're the queen here. Where is she? And there are so few bees here. Even if she was here, that wouldn't make much difference. There's so few bees to protect her and to keep everybody warm. If she was there, I lost her. I don't see her now, unless she's got her abdomen in a cell and I don't see it. But I don't even think these are fresh casing. Maybe they are. They're just so few. I'll pull out the other frame just in case. I mean, what can we do here? If we really give up on them, we can take their honey before the wax moth gets it. That's the main thing we could do. Other than that, there's not much to do. Honey.
When we've been in here before, in other hives that have had wax moths, the frame was pretty well destroyed, but it looks like
it's being destroyed. Here's wax moth evidence
right
there. So there's a worm inside this comb. He's probably been there, and he's come to here. They tunnel, so the bees can't get them. If they were strong bees, they would dig into this comb and tear out every bit of wax moth, but they're not that strong. I'm sorry. Let's see what these two connected here. See what they look like. I've broken open some honey now. This comb was built kind of sideways. It's seriously bothered by wax moth, if you can see right there. I can't pull it out any farther, but that's all damaged. I mean, right there and right there, it's all kind of frosty. There are worms inside the comb. And so, it seems like this colony has failed, even though there's still life at this moment. It's always hard to put to be God here. I hate that part. But it seems like we have to. We'll either just let them go and watch them be full of wax moth, or take the honey, scatter the bees. The bees, if we scatter them, they will end up knocking there and saying, "Please, may I?" And they will. Some of them will be allowed back, but the colony itself would be dead.
Well, if the queen is not active, it's dead anyway, right?
Yeah, it's dead anyway. And it's like seeing someone who just got injected with poison. They may appear to be alive, but they won't last. I would say we cut away the honeycomb and have a couple nice breakfasts out of it, but the rest of it is gone.
How do we know that the honeycomb that we're cutting away doesn't have worms in it?
We could strain it, so any worm would be strained away.
Yeah.
That's all we can say. I mean, the other thing is we could leave it open today, and that hive would then rip into it and tear it apart and take all the honey back. It would be a little bit of excitement. But that way we'd be giving this honey to them. What we can also do directly right now is even put this thing just on top, drop it on top. The bees would rush up into it. They would take care of, they would probably kill all these bees, so they would get the wax moth out and they would take it over. I mean, that's an idea.
Are you sure there's no wax moth in the other hive?
There's wax moth in every hive all the time, and it's like our germs. We're full of germs, and we don't get sick unless we're weakened. These guys were weakened enough that the wax moths have now taken pretty good possession of this hive. But if we put it on a strong hive, they will take care of it. I mean, if it was my hive, I'd probably take the comb that had some honey and scatter the bees and let it go. But you're the say-so. I'll take whatever you say. You can let it go for a while if you like.
Since that other hive has been weak in the past, if it would strengthen it to either leave it open or put it on top of that hive, I'd be glad for that. We don't need the honey. So whatever would help that other hive would be, I think, the best. And I'd like to also protect it as well as help it. So Let's see what they look like.
Lots of bees, lots of bees. Hello, good morning. How are the bees today? Hello, hello. Nobody but your friendly beekeepers. Hello. I would probably put that hive on top of this one with the inner cover in between. I don't really want them to live in that. I want to take that away in the autumn. I think I'll peek below here and see what their top super looks like, if there's any work going on. Spider. Lots of bees. Hello. Yes, yes. Looking nice. You've been working again. That's so nice. Some of these combs have been taken possession of. They were, I think they were a good comb, but they had nothing in them. I see a couple things in them. Yeah, so I think I'll just pop that thing on top. It's got hive staples in it. I've got to take the staples out. But we'll leave it on top here for a few days, and maybe a week or two, and then come back and see how they've done. If the wax moths have completely taken over, or if so they're going to get something new, and these guys are going to be giving up. And there's some drippy honey there. Now there's drippy honey here. Bye, figure it out. I'll leave that honey there for them to fight over. These bees belong to the lower hive, and they will not know where they are if I just let them out, because this upper hive won't smell right. So I'll try to get them in the air so they don't immediately get upset.
So they have to come in the front door.
I'm hoping they'll come in the front door. I mean, there is going to be some fighting going on here, but at the same time there's honey, which calms the fight. If it's inside, if honey's inside, everybody's happy. If honey's outside, it's not very nice. There are going to be a lot of bees here tonight. Bees that came out, or bees that are out foraging right now. They'll come home and say, what happened? This will cause a little trouble, but there's not much here, so it won't be that much fighting. But we now have one hive here instead of two. I'm sorry. And they'll figure out what's going on. There'll be a lot of dead bees out here. The ones that have been killed, or the ones that are dead in there, will be brought out.
And you don't see any sign of wax moth on the front step here?
No, not here. With so many bees, wax moth can't survive.
That's just the morning harvest of dead bees?
And there might be some already from
just now?
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick.
That's very quick. Like I say, we'll come check it out again in a week or so.